So a few weeks ago, back in February, I got an email from Arteza. No one, especially a well-known brand, has ever wanted to work with me before, so I don't know, I kind of felt like a real artist or something. Today I'm filming a sketchbook tour. I started the sketchbook in June of 2018, finished it in December of 2019. This is probably the sketchbook that I'm most proud of that I've ever done. That being said, it was also the bane of my existence. I have reached / surpassed 10K subs, which
What?
is crazy. That's crazy.
What?
So I reached out to Wilma Arts on Instagram a while ago, and I asked if she might want to collaborate with me here on YouTube, and I am so grateful that she said yes, because I genuinely had like such a good time. Like, this was so fun. And welcome to today's episode of New Year, New-ish me. I thought it'd be fun if we look back at my previous sketchbook for 2020 and review my goals. Just straight up begging. I owe a huge thank you to Wacom, because I emailed them and was literally just like, hey, do you want to like send me a tablet, like a pen display maybe, like just wondering? And they responded and said, yeah, sure, why not? I thought it would be cool to kind of review my 2021 goals. I like did write down on my notes app like things that I want to continue to work on, so we're gonna go over those just so I have a clear list. So we've whittled the goals down from 11 to 7, which I think is pretty good. There's always room for failure, it's fine. Hi friends, my name is Al, or Lilstarnerd, and welcome to today's episode of It Goes On and On and On. It goes on and on and on. I don't know the song. It's such like a monotone song. So if you were here last year, you might remember that I did a video like reviewing my previous year's art goals and then setting up my new art goals, and I thought, let's do the same thing again this year, because I'm gonna do it either way, so I may as well make a video out of it, and it happens to fall on the first of the year, which is perfect, so it was meant to be. So you're gonna come with me, okay? Okay. So we're gonna start by reviewing my 2021 goals, seeing how far I got with those, what I accomplished, what I didn't. Like 3 months ago, I did do a review or a check-in video where I like amended some of the goals and made myself like new goals, but I did not do any of them. Didn't do any of them, so we're just gonna pretend it didn't happen. That video didn't happen. That didn't happen, okay? Okay, we're gonna start fresh with the 2021 goals. Pretend that video didn't happen. Okay. So I'm just gonna read to you from my list. This is, I think, 2 sketchbooks ago. I'm gonna read to you from the list, and we're gonna talk about which goals I accomplished, which I didn't, and go from there. So my first goal was to do an Etsy shop, make an Etsy shop. That is definitely successful, that is done. My shop is currently on hiatus, but it's done really, really well. Honestly, I'm overwhelmed by how well it went, and I'm really excited to like do more with it next year, this coming year, not next year, but this year. But yeah, that was definitely a like resounding success. I'm super happy with like my Etsy shop, and you guys, thank you to you guys. So check. I don't know which way the camera is. Check. Okay. Draw like a check over where I'm drawing in the air to make this less awkward. Okay. Number 2 was to use less references, which I feel pretty good about. I definitely could have done better, but I feel like I am way less dependent on them in the way that I used to be. I feel like I did some pieces, you know, kind of transforming references and using references as just a reference rather than like to exactly copy. And I feel like I gained a lot of confidence in that area. So I'm gonna say that's a success, but it's still something that I need to continue to work on, because I think I can always do better in that department, but I'm gonna give myself a little check. 3 was to use more watercolor, which, I don't know. I genuinely don't know that I did that. Probably not as much as I would have liked to, but I do think in the past year or so, I've definitely gotten a lot more confident with watercolor, to the point that I feel like I have a process and I know what I'm doing, and I genuinely know how to use the medium. I've like done like lessons on watercolor, so I've given lessons, so I feel confident about that. I'm gonna say that I got what I wanted out of it. Like, I feel better with watercolor, even though I can't think of like pieces to be like look at all these watercolor pieces I did, I still feel better about using watercolor, so I'm gonna say that's a check. 4 was to make more originals, parentheses, to sell. No, that I didn't really do. I have definitely a lot of originals in the shop, and I have a lot more originals that will go up in the shop when I update it, but I really didn't make originals with the purpose of selling them. I kind of had the intention last year to like just make a lot, like literally with the intention of selling them in order to like make money, but I don't know that that's currently like a doable thing for me. Like I don't think that, like, people do buy my originals, but like not enough that I think it's worthwhile to like literally just make originals just to sell them at what I'm currently doing. Like maybe if I can make more genuine original things and interesting things, maybe then it'll be worth it. But I'm not mad about the fact that I didn't do that this last year. And I don't really feel the need to try to do that this coming year because I don't think it's worthwhile, but I still want to work on making originals. Number 5 was to work on digital stylized stuff. I straight up did not do. I don't think I really did that many digital pieces. Maybe like 3 digital pieces. Like 4 to like 6 digital pieces throughout the entire year, which is really not that many. I used to always do digital, but it's just not my favorite thing to do anymore. And I constantly go back and forth on whether or not I want to do it, but I definitely did not do it in 2021. So it's a big ol' no. 6 goes hand in hand with that. Work on digital painting. Also, no need to elaborate on that because basically the same thing as before. 7 was to work on at least one comic/animation project, which I did not do. I kind of like pretended to. Like I had a lot of stuff going on in my head about things that could be things. And I developed characters like in the second half, or a character in the second half of the year, but I didn't do any like actual work towards actually creating something that I intended to create. So that's another failure. Big ol' fail. Who saw that coming? Number 8 was Patreon, which I feel like I have a solid foundation of. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still learning how to work with it. I still have a lot of work to do, but I feel like I have a solid Patreon, so I'm gonna count that as 9 was to get a camera, which I did twice. That is two checks. Oh yeah. So I have the camera that I'm filming on, which was thanks to a lot of like my viewers, especially over on Twitter. I did like kind of like a crowdfunded, like I sketched people things and they donated money. And so I got a used camera that was literally entirely funded by you guys, which I am endlessly grateful for. But it wasn't the perfect camera for me to use by myself. It kind of like needs multiple people, like 2 people to work with it. And it just wasn't like what I myself needed, but it's been working great and I'm really glad I have it. So I was able to save up to buy myself a shiny new camera. I just got it in November and I still need to buy like a bit of equipment for it, so I can't quite use it yet, but look at that. Look at this. It's a new camera. So excited. So not only did I get a camera, but I got 2 cameras. So that's pretty cool. 10 was to try oil painting again, which definitely was a success. I did try to oil paint. I took a class on learning the basics of oil painting, which was like a sponsorship, but it was super fun. I started a few oil paintings. Just recently, Grumbacher sent me oil paints to try. So just because they were like, hey, we saw your video, here's oil paints. So I definitely tried to oil paint, but I didn't really get into oil painting. But I'm gonna count that as a big old success. And then 11. 11 was to make new OCs and to revisit old OCs, which I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna count this as a really weak success, like a really soft check, like really weak though, because I did make like 1.5 new characters, and I did doodle old characters, and I've thought about bringing them back and like what I would do to change them. I just haven't like actually done it, but like I halfway did both parts of this goal, which I feel like makes one really soft. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so now that we have reviewed my 2021 goals and we saw how those went, we're going to write down, plan, set my 2022 goals. Let's go. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. So this year I decided to make the goals page based off a Van Gogh piece using the color scheme and vibe and whatever like as inspiration. And I'm really into landscapes and the color green right now. So the staircase at Auvers was just perfect. I always love making my goals page and making it look cute, even though I like never go back and look at it. But I enjoy doing it. Also, before I start talking about my actual goals, keep in mind these are in no order at all. I wrote them down as they came to me. Okay, let's go. Goal number 1 is to do more big paintings and projects. This is pretty much solely because of my recent video where I did that big painting of the fisherman and the siren. That was one of the most rewarding things that I've done in a long time, and it felt like I unlocked a little bonus quest in my art career. But ever since that painting, I feel like I'm just waiting to do another like big piece. I actually already have like 2 commissions of that size that I'm gonna start soon. But I definitely want to keep doing bigger stuff and challenging myself in that way. Goal 2 is to make more original works. A lot of people ask me what my favorite piece I've done is, but I feel like I can never give a real answer because I feel like my pieces aren't mine because they're not originals. And for the past few months, I've been talking about like working towards making more original stuff and that I'm making progress and I'm on the way and this is a stepping stone and that I'm like on the brink of being able to do it. But I think at this point, like, I just need to do it. Like, there's no more stepping stones. I just need to do it. And it might look ugly and weird and bad at first, but I'm not ever going to be good at it if I don't just start doing it. So I think it's time. It is time to just start doing it. Goal 3 is one that haunts me. I seem to write it down every year and never do it. And it's to start developing a comic or a graphic novel. I have a character and a half. I have 1.5 characters right now that I absolutely adore and I want to keep working on, and I can see them being amazing characters for a comic or a graphic novel, and I have like vague ideas in mind, and I think I figured out what I want to do. So I'm hoping that this is the year. I feel like this is the year that it happens, but also, I don't know. I feel like I say that every year, so who knows? Number 4 is a bit broad, but I really want to start taking this seriously as a business and put in 110% effort this year. Not all the time, I'm gonna take breaks, but I really want to do my best. I recently had like a realization that so much has happened in 2021 for me, way more than I thought. Like I felt like nothing had really happened as in my art career in 2021, and then I looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I just woke up to see like half a business around me. There are amazing foundations around me and I want to take advantage of them. I also realized that I've been complaining about things not working for me or growing as fast as I wanted, but I thought about it and I was like, I'm expecting like full-time job benefits without putting in full-time job hours, and that's just not fair. Like that's just not how it works. So in 2022, I want to take full advantage of the progress I've made so far and put in like a real genuine effort to make this be my full-time job, because I can't complain about not making enough money unless I'm actually trying to make that amount of money. So I'm gonna do it. Goal 5 is to use my new camera. Like I said, I bought a new camera back in November, but I haven't gotten to use it yet. And starting in January, starting now, obviously, should be the time that I am able to use it. And I want to put it into good use. I want to do monthly vlogs, different filming locations, multiple camera angles. I want to get my money's worth. Number 6, collages and 3D media. I've noticed the past few months that my fingers have been itching to expand my usual mediums and to try new things and do different stuff. This is a bit of a softer goal, more vague. It's one that I'm not super stressed about actually doing, but I would love to try new things this year, even just for fun, like not to make great art and post it, but just to expand my horizons a bit, to grow as an artist, you know. Goal 7 is just oils. I really, really want to crack the code of oils this year. I have a few things planned already for what I want to try, pieces I want to do. I just need to actually do it. And I have better new supplies now. I have some experience under my belt to help me. As long as I do at least one full painting, I'll be happy, but hopefully it becomes a medium that I regularly use and like develop some skill for. We'll see, fingers crossed. Goal number 8 is to worry about my art health a bit more. I've had pain in my back and wrists and fingers and forearms for years now. And while I don't think they're caused by art, because it's predominantly in my non-dominant hand, every time the pain flares up, I panic a bit at the reminder that my art like can cause serious injury that could mess with my ability to create stuff. So I want to take care of my physical art health this year, stretch properly, have good posture. I really don't want to get carpal tunnel. I really don't. Number 9 is to venture into my local art scene. I want to look into putting my art in galleries. How can I make that happen? I want to get in touch with local art places, participate in pop-ups and markets, try some art classes, maybe even look into like conventions. I want to round out my art experience. I want it to feel a bit more real. I want art friends. I just feel like with all of my experience being online, it can feel, one, very isolating, and two, not real. Even though I have art to show that I'm doing art, it doesn't always feel like there's something tangible to prove that I have an art career. And I would just love to get out of my house, see my art places, stuff like that. Number 10, plein airs and locations. I want to get out more to do art. I've been obsessed with watching plein air videos lately. Again, just like trying new things, venturing out there. 2022 is the year of learning and trying new things, baby. We're gonna do it. Goal 11, I feel like I'm laughing at the end of everyone. I'm so sorry if I'm being annoying. I have energy. What about it? Goal 11 is to do still lives. Still lifes? Still lives? I genuinely don't know. Ideally in oils. I haven't set up a still life to paint from in real time since I was like 16 maybe, and I really enjoyed it then, and I love to see still life paintings happen like I like to see other people, so I want to try again. I feel like I could enjoy them. I got really bored of them. Like I didn't think they were interesting for a long time, but I'm a different person now. I'm changed, and I'm willing to give it a try. Number 12 is to make a sketchbook that I can be proud of. I've been struggling for the past year or two to complete my sketchbooks in the same way that I used to. For about, I think like 2 years, I did really cool and pretty and satisfying sketchbooks. And of course, like things have changed since then. I do a lot of work outside of my sketchbook. My style has changed. I have different preferences and mediums, but I miss being like proud of my sketchbook. So I want to work on that this year. I want to work on getting my mojo back in my sketchbook. So hopefully that happens. 13 is to do more long-term challenges, like really push myself to grow and learn as an artist. Not just like a little YouTube video of like, oh, make a piece out of crayons, but like taking real time, weeks, maybe months, to make a real effort to work on my skills. Things like, I'm thinking of like my 20 portraits in 2 weeks challenge. I want to do things like longer that really genuinely push me to do different things that I'm not used to. And finally, my last goal, number 14, shoes and feet. I have honest to God, I have never in my life been able to draw them. And frankly, I'm sick of it. I used to be able to ignore it and work around it, but I can't keep getting away with this. I can't. At some point, I need to be able to draw shoes without making them look like absolute garbage. And I refuse to fail at this. I refuse to not do this goal. It has to happen. It is time. It has been, what, like how old am I? It has been 5 years that I have been doing art. That I've been trying to learn, and I still don't know how to draw feet. Unacceptable. It is time. I cannot procrastinate this anymore. I'm going to learn how to draw feet. So those are my 2022 goals. I'm really excited about 2022. I have a really good feeling about this year, and I hope it goes great for all of you. I hope 2021 was good to you. Probably wasn't. 2021 wasn't good to anyone, but I hope 2022 is better. Just remember that resolutions are fake. Goals, like, you don't need to wait till a certain time to like do things or have a fresh start or whatever. That can happen whenever you want. I personally just find it fun and motivational. Do you? Leave in the comments if you are gonna do any goals, what they are, or how 2021 goals went. I love to hear that kind of stuff. So let me know. Click here to watch my latest video and click here to subscribe. If you don't, I won't cry, but I will be sad. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. I know I had fun. Happy 2022. Happy holidays. Hope your day is going good. Anyways, go brush your teeth, go drink some water, and go do some art.